Today I want to share a post-workout flow for those of you going to the gym that you know that you need a little stretching. And in fact, the more we build muscle in our bodies, the tighter we tend to get in terms of flexibility. So the more important that it is to use things like yoga or different modalities for stretching. Now, of course, yoga is more than stretching, so this is what I recommend. Let's get started. We're going to start in a wide leg child's pose. So what I want you to do is bring your knees wide. If you have a mat, this will be about as wide as your mat, wider than hip width apart. Bring your big toes to touch, then slide your hips back towards your heels, and then you'll start to bring your torso toward the mat. And maybe forearms is as far as you can get today, but if you have a little more space available, maybe you can bring your head toward the mat, option to stack your hands or stack your fists to create a pillow for your forehead. Or if your forehead can make it all the way down to the mat, feel free to go there. But wherever you are, give yourself some time to settle in. Maybe doing a little scan of your body, noticing where you're holding any tension, and let it go. Noticing if you're holding tension in your hips, knees, toes. Notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders or neck. Notice if you're holding tension in your forehead or face. Softness in the belly. Allowing yourself to feel heavy and connected to the ground, the earth. And as we're becoming present to those tension spots, the sensations in our body, let's also become present to our breath. Without changing it at first, just noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest and belly. Maybe you can notice the way your breath feels moving across the back of your throat. And then start noticing the parts of your body that are touching the mat or ground. Your legs, feet, arms. Noticing your skin, places that feel warm and places that feel cool. Just noticing. And from here, we'll begin a few mindful breaths. So gently sealing your lips, take a long, slow inhale through your nose, filling up the belly, filling up the chest. Exhale, gently let that go. We'll do that again. Inhale, filling up the belly, filling up the chest. Exhale, let it go. One more time, slowest one yet. Inhale, fill all the way up to the top. And really slowly let it go. And then allow your breath to return to a natural rhythm. And from here, we'll begin to activate this posture. So a little bit of core engagement. Start to walk your hands forward, creating some action in the arms, pressing the hips further back toward the heels. And then coming up on the fingertips, tenting the palms. We call this spider fingers, spider hands. Press a little further back. Take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. And from here, we're going to walk the hands toward the left until we start to feel a stretch through that left side body. And then maybe you can bring the left ear down toward the mat, right ear toward the mat, sorry. Continuing to press that right hip back toward the right heel. Feeling that through the right side, moving down through the right side. And take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more breath here. And then you're going to walk your hands across the center, coming across to the other side. So hands toward the right side, left ear comes down. Pressing into that left hand to bring the left hip further back toward the left heel. And then melting down through that left side body. Take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more like that. And walking the hands back to center. This time from the center, we're going to take that right arm and thread it underneath the left arm. Bringing the right shoulder toward the mat, the right ear toward the mat. Feeling a stretch through that right shoulder. Now, if it's too much here, feel free to back off a little. You can unwind a little, not twist so much. Or if you're not feeling anything yet, maybe twist a little more. And then see if you can soften into this posture a little. Take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more like that. And then you'll unwind, take that right arm out, bring it to the front, and bring the left arm underneath the right. And the left ear comes down. This time noticing that sensation in the left shoulder. And we'll send some breath there. Take a long, slow inhale. Exhale, allow it to soften and find space. Left shoulder. Again, like that. Inhale. And exhale. Unwind, bring that left hand forward again. And from here, we're going to make our way to tabletop, hands and knees. So we want to bring those knees a little closer so that they're directly under the hips. And we want the wrists directly under the shoulders. We're going to have a nice long spine, a little bit of core engagement to keep the spine long, make sure we're not sinking down the middle. And then from here, we're going to move into a few cat-cows to wake up and warm up that spine. So as you inhale, you're going to drop your belly, gaze up. And then as you exhale, find a scaredy cat spine, chin to the chest. We'll do that again. Inhale, gaze up, cow pose. Notice how I arch that back, the hips come up, shoulders coming back toward the hips. Exhale, cat pose, creating that C-shaped spine. Inhale, cow again. Maybe shifting a little weight forward, getting wide across the collarbone. Exhale, cat pose, creating space between the shoulders. 3 more, just like that, moving with your breath at your pace. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Maybe getting a little deeper into the posture with each rotation. Finding a little more space. And let it feel really good. Taking good care of that spine. And then we'll meet back in a neutral spine. And from here, we're going to find some wrist stretch. So we're going to bring each set of hands either with the fingertips pointing out, or if you have a lot of space available, you can bring the fingertips back towards you. And wherever you land with that, maybe you find a little sway forward and back, or some gentle circles. And if you're circling, make sure you circle the other way as well. And this may be a whole lot of sensation, so be gentle on those wrists. But the sensation is just a reminder that we really need this. Then we're going to bring the tops of the hands down, either with fingertips pointing inward, or fingertips pointing back towards you. Again, depending on how much space you have today. And then option to open and close the fists or bend and straighten the elbows. And I know we feel that very quickly, so just a couple moments here. And then come back to neutral hands. And from here, we're going to tuck the back toes under and then sit back on the heels. And then clasping hands, make some circles or figure eights, let that go. And then turn the hands inside out. Maybe bring them up to the sky. And I know you might be feeling it in the toes and feet as well. That's kind of the point. Release the hands down. Inhale, bring the arms up. From here, we're going to find a twist to the right just for one breath. Left hand to that right thigh or knee. Right hand behind you. Inhale here. Exhale brings it back to center. Twist the other way. Inhale here. Exhale back to center. Release the arms down. From here, come back to tabletop. And then we're going to step the right foot outside of that right hand for a lazy lizard lunge. Now again, this may be enough right here, but if you'd like, you can slide that left knee back a little to get a little more stretch, sinking into that right hip. And then maybe you stay right here on the hands, or if you have the space available, maybe you bring it down to forearms. Maybe give it a try and see how it feels. If it's too much, you can always back off. But we want to feel some sensation in that right hip. Sensation means we're getting somewhere. We never want pain, but sensation in discomfort is how we arrive at something new, right? We don't really get to anything in life without a little discomfort. But we can manage that discomfort with our breath. So again, through the nose, take a long, slow inhale. Exhale, see if you can soften that right hip. Another long, slow inhale. Really slow exhale. And then you can stay right here. Or option to open that right knee. Coming onto the blade edge of the right foot, opening the right knee out to the right. And this is just an option. See how it feels for you. And then further option, if you'd like a quad stretch, that right hand can come back, grabbing that left foot, squeezing it toward the glute, gazing over that right shoulder. Now this is too much on your knee, back off. But if you're in the posture, really squeeze that left foot in, twist from the middle, take a big inhale, and a slow exhale. Then we'll gently release that foot down, bring the right foot flat, right hand comes back around. We're going to shift back for a hamstring stretch. So bringing the hips over that left knee, straightening that right leg. Now it may not get totally straight, because if those hamstrings are tight, you'll have a little bend in the knee, and that's perfectly fine and normal. And then from here, you're going to fold in any amount. Now, it's possible that your fold in is only about right here, and that's totally okay. Wherever you are that you feel some sensation in the back of that leg, it's the perfect place to be. And again, we'll take a long, slow inhale, and we'll send the breath to the back of that right leg. And exhale, just urge it to soften. Allow it to open. One more full breath here. Then we'll bend into that right knee, bring the hands down. And from here, we're going to move into a pigeon pose. So we're going to walk that right across to the left and bring the right knee down toward the right. That right foot can be anywhere along this left side. For some people, it'll be close to the left wrist. For some people, it'll be further back. And then walk that left leg straight behind you. Find a little length in your spine as you sit up nice and tall. Take a big inhale here. And then exhale, start to walk those fingertips forward and fold down over the right leg. And you can stay on forearms, or if you have the space, child's pose, you can stack your fists or stack your palms to create a little pillow for your head. And you can fidget a little here, but I encourage you to find a space where you can settle in and be still for just a few breaths. Our hips have a tendency to tense up when they feel a lot of sensation. And that's just to protect the joint. It's a natural instinct. But in this posture, we're trying to open up the hips. So we need to release that grip and make an effort to soften that space. So maybe as you inhale, you can send the breath to that right hip. And as you exhale, see if you can soften just a little bit. Again, inhale, watch the breath travel down your throat, through your body to that right hip. Exhale, allow the breath to swirl around and open up the space. Maybe you just feel a millimeter more space with each breath. Last breath here. From here, you're going to begin to bring your torso upright, bringing your hands under your shoulders. You're going to tuck those back toes under, elevate that back knee. Press into the palm so that you can bring that right knee back and find tabletop again. And from here, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So starting with the left foot outside of the left hand for lizard lunge. Again, we're going to sink into that hip. Option to scoot that right knee back a little, finding what works for you. And then either staying on the hands or option to come to forearms. And you may notice that this side feels completely different than the other side, and that is totally natural and normal and worth noticing. Maybe really notice it. Do you feel it in a different place, or is it just a different intensity? Really notice, get present to the sensations in your body, and then manage it with your breath. Take a long, slow inhale and a really slow exhale. One more like that. And if you love the space you're finding here, you can stay right where you are. But if you'd like to try something else, or if you did it on the other side, option to come on the blade edge of that left foot, opening the left knee out to the left. Continuing to soften that left hip. And then option for the quad stretch, left hand grabbing that right foot, squeezing it in toward the glute. Continuing to open that left knee out to the left, gazing over the left shoulder. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Gently releasing the right foot, bringing the left foot flat. Left hand comes down. And from here, we're going to shift back for that hamstring stretch. So bringing the hips over the right knee, straightening that front leg, maybe bringing it a little more to center. And then folding forward any amount. Noticing where you feel this in the hamstrings, where it's most tight, what needs the most love and attention. Sensations are messages from your body telling you what it needs. Thank you for the message, body. Again, being gentle with yourself. You don't want to overdo anything here, but we do want to feel something. So it's always about finding that edge of sensation and pain. We never want pain. We never want to hyperextend anything, but we do want to have sensation so that we know we're getting somewhere. Last breath here. Bending that left knee, coming forward. We're going to move into that pigeon pose. So bringing that left foot across to the right. Left knee down toward the left. Extending the right leg behind, finding that tall spine. And then folding forward. Either coming to forearms or bringing the forehead all the way down. Finding that spot where you can settle in and be still. Noticing the sensation in the left hip, sending some breath directly there. Long, slow inhale. Really slow exhale. The hips are the home to so much of our emotion, stress, trauma, grief. And as we open up physically, we also open up energetically. Releasing those stuck energies. We hold these things in our connective tissue. And just like our body has a tendency to tense up our joints when it wants to protect them, our minds can sometimes be tense around releasing big feelings. Challenge yourself to open up and let go. The only way to let go of emotion is to feel it. As you inhale, send breath directly to that left hip. As you exhale, allow it to open and soften. And as we release physically and energetically, we create space. In that space, we can fill up with something new. So what loving and supportive messages can you send to yourself right now? What words of support and kindness? You're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. You are kind, compassionate, and capable. Take one more breath here. And gently making your way upright again, bringing that torso up, bringing the hands under the shoulders. We'll tuck that back toe under, elevating the back leg. Press into the palms, bring that left knee up, and then come back to table. From here, we're just going to make our way to seated in any way that works for you. And from this seated posture, we're going to make our way down onto the mat on our backs in a reclined position. Let's hug both knees into the chest. Maybe a little massage or a little rock side to side to massage the sacrum. And then we'll prepare for a spinal twist. So we're going to bring both knees to the left. But before we do that, I like to shift my hips a little bit toward the right and then bring knees to the left. And then we'll bring that right arm out to the right and gaze to the right, twisting from the center. Now we want both shoulders on the ground, on the mat here. Even if that means the knees don't make it all the way to the ground on the left. But very little effort in this posture, allowing gravity to do the work. Allowing your energy to settle. Allowing your breath to be at a normal and natural rhythm. Then we'll unwind, come back to center, hug both knees in again. And then we'll find a twist the opposite way. So shifting your hips toward the left, so breathing the knees down toward the right. And then left arm comes out to the left, gaze is to the left. Noticing if the mind is slow or the mind is busy. And if thoughts or distractions try to pull you away from this moment, just keep coming back to the sound of your breath. From here, we'll come back to center again. Hug both knees in one more time. This time, maybe bringing your chin up towards your knees, giving yourself a big squeeze, making yourself really small. Inhale as you squeeze everything in. And then exhale, bring the head down. Release the arms, release the legs. Bringing your feet wide, allowing your feet to fall open. Arms at your sides with your palms facing up. Preparing for our final resting posture. Allow your body to feel very heavy. And your face to feel soft. If you have a towel or an extra shirt, you can place it across your eyes. And challenge yourself to take a few moments of stillness. Stillness is where we connect with ourselves and we find answers to questions we didn't even know we had. And trust that I'll pull you out at exactly the right time. Shavasana. Beginning to deepen your breath to bring yourself back into your body. Noticing how you feel in this moment. And then beginning to wiggle fingers and toes to bring in some gentle motion. And those small motions will make their way into larger motions, maybe finding a big good morning stretch, reaching arms and legs in opposite directions. And then finally, we'll make our way to seated in any way that works for you. And as you come into a comfortable seated position, find a nice tall spine. And from here, we'll just bring hands to heart center. A moment of gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunity to take this time for yourself. Gratitude for this ancient sacred practice of yoga and all of its benefits for our physical and energetic bodies. Thank you for being with me today. Namaste.